students, this is an example of how to fill out a plot chart based on the Beauty and the Beast video that you guys should have just watched. So you will be asked to do something like this on your own in the next slide. So here I just want to show you how to do this. Okay, so the directions say in this pretend assignment that hopefully you skipped, use the TT box to make a text box. That's here. Fill in the plot chart below with the events from Beauty and the Beast. So if you want to make the instructions smaller, you can just click here. That way you can see the whole screen. Okay, so where I like to start is the exposition. So you make your text box. You can change the size of the font as much as you want. And then what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm just going to type it up here just so it's a little bit easier. The setting was France. The situation or climate. So usually this would be just like when it takes place or what's kind of going on. But basically it's just like an old village kind of thing. I don't know the exact date, but it definitely is not modern. So that's why I put old. Don't stress out too much about like the situation climate. It's just basically like when-ish, like what's going on. Our main characters are Belle and the Beast. We also have Gaston. I'm sorry. And then you can kind of click and move this down. You can kind of resize it. I think I actually want this to be a little bit bigger so that it fits better. There. See, now it kind of was like 1, 2, 3. Okay. But I mean, if it doesn't like fit perfectly, I just will understand that this is setting, climate, characters. Okay. Next, you go to Inciting Incident. If you remember from the story/video, the inciting incident is when Belle sacrifices her freedom for her father's, right? She says, take me instead. I've watched this movie too much probably. Okay, but yeah, she says, take me instead. He's like, you would give up your freedom for him? Or something like that. Anyway, I like Beauty and the Beast. I think it's one of my favorites, the original, but that's kind of extra information. Okay, next. So, rising action. When you fill out rising action, it's basically all the steps, right, that lead up to the climax. And it's kind of funny because you're not going to start from top to bottom like we usually would do, but this is going to be your first next step in the plot, second, third. Okay, so you're not going 1, 2, 3, you're going 1, 2, 3. However, personally, when I fill out these charts, I don't go in order. I don't do exposition, inciting incident, rising action, climax, and then falling action, resolution. Instead, after inciting incident, I jump to the climax. The reason I do this is because it's hard to know what builds tension until you know where you're going, right? So the climax of the story is the most dramatic, intense, crazy part of the story where everything changes afterwards. It's the turning point. It's usually near the end of the story, which some people don't know. So the climax of the movie we saw in the video was when Gaston brings a mom to kill the beast, and he kills the beast. ... question mark? Okay, so then when I'm doing rising action, I need to pick the 3 events that help build tension getting up to that climax. So I think the first important thing that happens is that Belle tries to escape, and the beast saves her from the wolves. Hopefully you've seen the movie, but yeah, that's what happens next. Okay, and then next, they start to fall in love. If you guys remember the tale as old as time, that's a song. Or maybe it's there may be something like that. Anyway, I'm digressing. Okay, next big step is that the beast lets her go home to take care of her father. All of this builds tension until we get to the point where Gaston hears about her being in love with the beast and is like, oh, I gotta kill him. Okay. So do you see how I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay. Falling action. What's the stuff that happens right after the climax? It is the beast turns into a prince and the spell is broken. Yay! Resolution is basically how the story resolves or ends. In most Disney movies, it is, and they lived happily ever after. I lost my text box. Okay, over here. They dance together and basically have a party, and they live happily ever after. Okay, and that's all. That is how you fill out a plot chart. Da-da-da. So in the next activity, you're going to be doing this exact same thing, but with a book or a movie of your choice. The only difference is that you're going to have to like make a text box and like tell me here like what your book or movie is, so that I can go on Google and see what your movie or book is about if I haven't read it. Personally, I prefer if you pick Disney movies because I like Disney movies, if you can't tell already, so it is less work for me. But if you're not like super into Disney and there's like another book or movie you want to do, by all means go ahead. I also like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and Marvel, so if you pick any of those, I'll be happy. But obviously, you do you. Okay, cool. So that's all. When you're done, you'll press submit and then move on to the next activity.